Hi, it's Elena from Financial Demics, where I give you the tips and tools to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. And today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that I earned extra money to pay off debt. The first way that I earned money to pay off debt was by cutting back some of my expenses. And I know you think that you're not really earning money, but a lot of times when you cut your expenses, you realize that you have more money than you thought you had in the first place. I talk more about how I cut back my expenses in my video 10 things I gave up to pay off debt. So after you watch this video, go ahead and head over and check out that video. One of the ways that I actually cut back on my expenses was being more cognizant about what I was actually spending my money on. So on Fridays, I used to always have what I call Freestyle Fridays. And typically I would take my son to get something from like one of his favorite restaurants so that he could eat that way, and then I would just eat whatever was around the house. Instead of always buying food every Friday, what I ended up doing was buying foods that I would hear that he liked from his friend's house. So, for example, he loved pizza, and it really didn't matter where the pizza came from. So what I would do is I would wait for like DiGiorno pizza to go on sale. And back then they used to have really good sales. I don't know how the sales work now because I don't buy that anymore. But I would buy DiGiorno pizzas when they went on sale and leave them in the freezer, and then also buy some fries from the grocery store. So then on Fridays, that would be his treat and he would really enjoy it. So he wasn't really thinking too much about, okay, we're not going to McDonald's or Taco Bell or I don't know, Bojangles anymore. He was more so just happy that he got kind of like a, what I call a junk meal, because typically we would eat pretty healthy during the week. Doing that actually saved us money because he couldn't eat a whole pizza in one sitting. So it actually, he would have pizza for a couple of days. And so that was a savings for me. Another way that I also earned money to pay off my debt was by selling books. I had a lot of books, textbooks and just regular books. I was an avid reader. I would buy books, read them once, maybe share them with a friend, get them back, but I really wouldn't read them the second time. And so at that time, I decided to sell a lot of my books. And so I ended up either selling them on either eBay or Amazon. And for my textbooks, I sold those on Amazon because I actually had recently gotten out of grad school. So I still had textbooks that were still being used. And I also sold textbooks on Chegg.com. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, because with Chegg, they're known for like renting textbooks and tutoring and all sorts of things. But on Chegg, you can actually sell books also. And so I used to sell my textbooks. I would either list them on Chegg or list them on Amazon.com to get money for them. Once a sale came in, I would go and mail the book off to whoever purchased the book. So that was extra money that I could take when I received it, and I would put it towards my debt. So if you have books that you have around the house and you just really have too many, you know what I'm talking about, like your bookcase is full, plus you have books stacked on top of each other, then look into Book Scouter. So then you can run the ISBN and see if they are accepting the book. If they're not accepting the book though, check Chegg. And also check Amazon, because you can also sell books on Amazon as an Amazon seller. Speaking of textbooks, I also ended up getting a part-time position as an adjunct professor at a local community college. So in order to be an adjunct professor, you typically have to have at least a master's degree. They may take less for other disciplines, but it just depends on the school. So you have to just check the requirements of the position. But I ended up deciding to look into being an adjunct because I always had this itch to want to teach, especially after my own college experience. And so once I started making money from becoming an adjunct instructor, I put that money into a separate account, and every time I got paid, that money went directly towards my debt. So I never got to enjoy my adjunct earnings until recently. And even now, that money is actually going to start going towards my student loans. So I really am not going to enjoy the income, but I will enjoy how it feels when they are gone. If you do qualify to be an adjunct professor, I would say if you are applying for positions, don't give up. That's one of the fields that's not always quick to get into. I applied for adjunct professor positions for a year before I got my first opportunity to teach. So don't get discouraged. Just know that that's an option, especially if that's just something that you have an itch to do. You really like teaching. If you really feel like that is something that you would want to do and you will be fulfilled by doing it, then look into it. Another way that I earned money to pay off my debt was by doing mystery shopping. So at the time, I was actually signed up with a company called Bestmart, and I went to mystery shop a lot of different stores and locations. I won't say who because you're not supposed to tell because, okay, you're a mystery shopper. So I would do mystery shopping mostly on my lunch, funny enough. So I had a full-time job. I was also teaching part-time at nights, but I would, on my lunch, go out and fulfill my mystery shopping jobs that I signed up for. So with Bestmark, I'm going to speak about just because that's who I mystery shop for. They would have basically a mystery shopping job board with different options in your area. I would pick the options that I knew that I can do in less than an hour. So, get there, do whatever I need to do, still eat or whatever, and get back to work on time. And so I would pick anything in my job's vicinity. Typically, when you mystery shop, you will have to spend a little bit of money up front and then you'll get reimbursed for that money. So I use the same $20 repeatedly for my mystery shopping duties. And what I mean by this is that if I had to go to a particular restaurant or store, a lot of times with the stores, you didn't have to buy something. You just had to inquire of the sales reps, like act like you're buying something. But if I had to go to like a fast food restaurant, I would use that same $20 and order whatever they tell you to order in your instructions for the job. And then once I submitted my experience and my receipt, then they would actually pay you for the job and reimburse you what you spent. So once I got reimbursed, that's when I would sign up for another job. And it really didn't take long. I would make sure that I submitted my receipts and my experience because you had to fill out what happened the same day. And then I would get the money pretty quickly. They would send the money to one of my bank accounts. So you can have it set up to PayPal, but I had a separate account that was just for mystery shopping. And so I would have the money sent to my account with the reimbursement for the money I spent if it was like a fast food restaurant. I really did enjoy mystery shopping because I did learn a lot of things during the process. I also was able to try stuff that I never would have tried otherwise. And there's different ways of mystery shopping. There's so many different companies that you can actually mystery shop with. So you don't necessarily have to sign up with, say, Bestmart, but you definitely want to have some options. If you are eerie about whether or not mystery shopping is legit, it is, but you do have to be careful about what companies you sign up with. So there is a mystery shopping Providers Association. If you see a mystery shopping company on their website, then that website is definitely legit. I'll provide the link to the Mystery Shoppers Providers Association below, along with the link to Bestmart and a few of the other companies that I'm going to tell you now. So here are some companies that I have looked up myself and have signed up for myself and have done shopping for. So I know that they're actually legit. They actually pay your money. Another mystery shopping company that you can look into is Ellis Partners. Ellis Partners is pretty cool because for this one, you're actually mystery shopping apartment complexes. So you would go into an assigned mystery shopping complex in your area and then ask the questions that was given to you in your assignment of the leasing agent who is on duty, and then you would report your findings back to Ellis Partners, so that the owner of the company, because that's typically who is hiring or who is contracting out Ellis Partners to find someone to do the mystery shop, so that they can see what happens when somebody comes to get an apartment at their location. There is also Second to None. Second to None is another mystery shopping company. It is approved by the Mystery Shoppers Providers Association. And truthfully, they just want you to have access to a smartphone to be able to remember small details, to able to become a shopper with them. They'll also send you out on assignments in your area so that you can earn extra money and you can use that money to put towards your debt. Just a few tips if you do decide to use mystery shopping. Make sure you follow the instructions to a T. If you do not, they may not pay you for the assignment because you did not follow the instructions. For example, when I was shopping for Bestmart, for one of the fast food restaurants that I had to mystery shop, they were very particular. And when I mean like had it in bold letters, not to order anything outside of what they said to order on the receipt. So if you say wanted something extra that was not in the instructions to order, you would have to do 2 orders. If you submitted a receipt with that extra item on there, then they would void your shop. You wouldn't get paid for your shop. So make sure that you follow the instructions to a T. Another way that I made money to pay off my debt was by selling items. So selling items been a thing, and I was selling items on mostly eBay, because eBay was at that time one of the few places you could sell items. You could also sell items on Amazon, but I would only sell like small electronics on Amazon if I could. But typically I would just use eBay. You didn't have all the options you have now to sell items or clothing or things like that. So I would sell items on eBay, sometimes Amazon. I also would go to consignment shops. So I had a growing child, and he typically did not really mess up his clothes. And that's probably because I had like school clothes and we're going somewhere clothes. So clothes that weren't really worn as much, and clothes that I also had that I never wore, or that they were barely worn, so maybe worn a couple times. I would take it to a consignment shop and they would actually give me money for the items that I brought there. Now, today, you don't necessarily have to walk into a consignment shop. There are so many options that you could use to sell your items, such as Poshmark, ThreadUp, Let Go, OfferUp, Declutter, even Book Scouter, and that's just a few of them. There are more of these. And if you want me to do a video on all the ways you can sell your items to make money, just let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely do that for you. So look around your house. What do you have that is lightly used, that you don't really wear or use anymore, that you can actually sell to get money for. Instead of just, cluttering up your house, you can get rid of the things that you don't need and make a little money while doing it. So if the 5 ways that I earned money to pay off my debt was helpful to you, make sure that you hit that like button. I hope it gave you some ideas. So make sure that you share it with a friend so that you both can knock out your debt. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And if you share a screenshot of the video on Instagram, make sure you tag me at Financial Demics, and I will make sure to share it with everyone, showing that you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week. Bye.